Hello, hello, everybody, and happy Tuesday. We have another ad break getting ready to start because my internet decided to derp.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Good afternoon, or good evening, I guess. Good evening, good evening. Lady folks, thank you so much for the dumb ways to die. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. Let's see how long it takes to do that.
Wibbly wobbly, tiny
There we
whiny
go.
stuff.
Always fun. Thank you, Starlina. Thank you guys so much for coming and joining me today. If you are in an ad break, you are not missing a thing. I'm just spouting random words like bingo bongo dingle dangle, yickety doo, yickety da, ping pong, lippy tappy toota. So don't worry, you're not missing a thing. You'll be back before you know it. And we are going to probably do a real quick catch-up time. My chair rolled right on to... There we go. Adjusting a few things. I do eventually need to clean my room again. I've got a bunch of stuff in here that needs a home. So before it gets too crazy, I need to clean my room. I already had to do a major cleaning back there once. I'm not going to do it again. Oh, man. You're waiting on a snowstorm, Dusty. Wow. Well, you stay warm and you stay safe. You got it? So, the reason that I have been gone for so long is because right after I got back from one trip, I got sick. I came home from that trip with a bit of a cold that lasted about 2 weeks. And so then, that was why I wasn't able to stream. I didn't feel up to it. We had other stuff going on as a family. And so now I am finally feeling better. I'm feeling up to the point now that I am able to do a stream tonight. And then we have a normal length stream on Saturday. So, my thing is, what we're going to be doing is right after stream on Saturday, I have family coming into town. And I've got to drive about an hour north to go pick them up at the airport. So, right after stream, I'm grabbing a bite to eat, and I am heading north with the family. We're going to be picking up some wonderful, wonderful family members that I am super excited to see. And so streams for about the next month are going to be kind of sporadic, depending on what family is up to over the next month. And so, depending on what they're up to, what they might want to do, what game they might want to play, if they might want to join me on stream, who knows? So do keep an eye on both Twitter and Discord, because I will be posting when I'm going live. So, I want to know how you guys are doing. Amethyst! Hold on. Amethyst, how you doing? I still have an ever so slight cough, but it's going away. Whenever you guys get sick, is the cough always the last thing to leave, or is it just me? For me, it's usually either the cough or the runny nose or both. And that is the last thing to leave whenever I get sick. Duck! Duck coming in with the donna! I love it! Starlina, you're sick too? Oh man, it is going around, man. It is going around. Right, Amethyst? Man, oh man, the cough is always the last thing to leave and it's always so annoying. Special good news today. For Job Assist, you went out to some jobs and handed out your resume. Yay! Way to go, Dreamer! Way to go! Definitely keep us updated on if anybody comes and wants to hire you or interview you or anything like that. I saw Lady Belle. I've missed you guys so much. So much. And I apologize that the internet was derping for a second there. I don't know why it was, but it was. Oh, no wonder. All right, guys. We might be experiencing... I need to pull something up here because I don't want to risk dropping you guys. Hold on. I need to make sure that I am on the right. We might have... Well, if it stays strong, then I think we'll be okay. How's it looking on you guys, on your guys' end? Because I can change. We've got 2 different routers going on in the house right now because we got a chance to use a T-Mobile router for a little bit. But we also have our Comcast one. And so it accidentally loaded the T-Mobile one instead of the Comcast one. So I don't know why, but it did. But if it's running clear, then you guys are good. And we're good. During December, you were so sick, mucus choking you, coughing real bad. That was me too! Dreamer, dude, that was me too. My nose, my cough in my throat, like just everything. Ugh. I literally slept half a day. I woke up at like 4:45 like normal. Gave it about 15-20 minutes to just see if anything I was feeling would go away. And I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling it today. Texted my boss and was like, I'm not feeling good. I think I'm going to stay home so I can kick this cold in the bud. Or nip this cold in the bud. And he was like, yep, stay home. You're good. Both your boys had a dentist appointment today, and they both had 4 or 5 cavities each and have to be put under anesthetic. Oh, Lady Belle. Oh, I'm sorry. Lady Foes, you learned how to do a corner-to-corner blanket stitch. You're gonna have to definitely send me a video of you doing that because I would love to see that. The driver for your internal microphone disappeared? What the heck? Oh, no worries, Amethyst. You just gotta promise me one thing. You report back on what you're having for dinner. Yeah, I don't know if... I usually don't have allergies. As far as I know, I'm not allergic to anything. But I really think what it was I had a super flat pillow for some reason at the hotel that we were at. It just wasn't as fluffy as what I'm used to. And sometimes the super flat pillows just leave everything just stuck right there in the throat or up here in the nose. And then it just festers. It could have been dust. Or both. You're having pizza? What toppings? What toppings? Oh, what way is there to bring it back? All right. Dare I quickly try changing over? Hey, how's it going, Agent? Oh. Well, you know what? For some reason... Alright, we're not going to mess with it. My computer's looking a little weird as far as Wi-Fi stuff. It's not listing all the different networks other than the T-Mobile one, so that's kind of weird. So after stream, I might have to do a little reboot, but we'll see what happens. Just pepperoni, nice! I like Hawaiian. By the way, Happy New Year, guys! This is the first stream of 2025! What are some either goals that you have for this year or your word of the year? My word of the year is relationships. From the Windows Help Forum, delete the sound and mic drivers and restart. The GUI will go, oh wait, something's missing, and reinstall it. Gotcha! GUI, is that graphics user interface? While you answer that, I am going to go ahead and pray because we've got a bit shorter of a stream. I have a hard stop time of 8 p.m. because I've got to help my mom with something at 8. So, and then I've got to get to bed because morning comes early for work. So, if you have any prayer requests, feel free to drop them into chat, and I will look up partway through the prayer, and then we will go from there. We're going to be hopefully adding some spikes to Fred Dino today. I have yet to redo the tail just because I was so busy and sick. And you know what? Maybe I'll just stick with this tail. Like, how cute is it? I mean, I know it's supposed to be down like that, but it almost looks like he's wagging his tail. And if you lean him back just right, he does just sit there. So maybe I won't make an extra tail. You're worried that the laptop might not do that. Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. Is it an older laptop? All right, you guys, let's go ahead and pray, and I'll look up partway through. Oh, you got it last year. Nice. Well, hopefully it'll do it. I'll be praying over that. Dear Lord, thank you so much for new beginnings, new years, new times, new goals, a chance for a fresh start, Lord. I ask that you be with each and every person here, everybody who is going to come, and even those who aren't here, Lord. I ask that you be with us in a new and mighty way this year. Deepen our relationship with you, Lord. I pray over Dreamer that somebody that he handed his resume to will call him for an interview and he'll be able to get a job. I pray that the microphone driver and all of that computer stuff gets resolved quickly and easily, and that a reboot is what is needed, Lord. I ask that you be with each and every person here and all of their needs, spoken or unspoken. Be with Amethyst, be with Dreamer, be with Lady Foes and Baby Foes and Adaphos, be with Kishu, be with Bayo, be with Lady Bell and her kids, Lord, as they're getting ready to get their cavities filled, Lord. Let there be peace and calm, Lord, and let it go smoothly. I pray for Tie-Dye Chef Dave and Just a Little Spark and his little kitty, Lord, and Dusty, and anybody who's going to be involved in a snowstorm, Lord. Hold on one second, please. Sorry about that. I ask that you be with Lotu and her family as they're settling back in after a move, Lord. Thank you so much that she was able to make partner. Be with Legend of Zyro, Lord. Be with DLC. Be with just anybody and everybody. Be with STL. Be with my friend Bree. And just help just everybody to have a good life and a good walk with you, Lord. And I ask that you be with Dreamer as he helps his dad get to church on Thursday. Be with Soul in an Earthsuit, Lord, as she's getting ready to start this new semester. Be with her dad and their relationship, Lord. Let us have a fun time of fellowship, and let us, if we're feeling sick, help us to feel better. If we're struggling mentally, give us your strength, Lord, and your peace. I ask this all in your name. Amen. All right. I'm going to pull up the video here. I've got my handy dandy crochet hook. And I have my dad's scissors from his office next door. We're going to be making 5 of these. We have our yellow yarn because the spikes are all going to be yellow, as are the belly ones. Oh, that's right. Maybe I should remake the tail. It won't take me that long to do. There we go. That's right. I completely forgot that that one's gonna... Alright. Here's what we'll do. We'll make the spikes and the new tail. We'll do the new tail. So that way, I get re-acclimated with the magic circle, because it's been a little bit since I've done that. But 2, it also will mean I can figure out how to sew those on. I can sew those on Saturday. Alright,
It's time to learn how to start a round crochet piece all by yourself. Round crochet pieces, like plushies or hats, often start with something called a magic loop. It's called magical because there's no hole in the center. That's why it's extremely popular for amigurumi plushies in particular, because it looks nice and neat.
making my little
But
slip
since it's your
knot.
first time crocheting, a magic loop can be pretty hard to do. So instead of doing this technique, I'm going to show you how to do this technique, which is called crocheting a ring into a chain. As you can see, there's a small hole in the middle.
Brian Adams to VeggieTales?
The plus side is it's easier to do, so at least you'll have a circle to be able to crochet into. If you'd rather take on the challenge of learning how to make a magic loop, click on the help icon below. Otherwise, grab your green yarn and follow along.
Alright, here we go. Come on.
You first need to make what's called a slip knot. To make a slip knot, lay out your yarn horizontally. Then pick up the yarn tail and loop that once around itself. So the yarn's intersecting at one point. Then pick up the other side of the loop and then fold that loop over the rest of the yarn like the page of a book. So now the rest of the yarn is somewhere in the middle of that loop that you just folded over. Pick up the yarn that's in the middle of the loop with one hand, and then pick up the yarn tail with the other and pull those two in opposite directions until a knot is formed.
There we go.
That is called a slip knot.
One slip knot.
Now put the loop that you made on the hook. Because you're left-handed, you want the knot to be to the right of the hook. Pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball until the knot is almost at the base of the hook. You want the loop on your hook, just like all the other stitches you've made, to basically be the size of the tip of the hook.
Okay. What I like about these is they're bite-sized.
Now you're going to make what's called a chain stitch. So get into regular crocheting position and hold onto the knot that you just made with your thumb and your middle finger. So your hook is in front of the working yarn like normal with the tip of the hook facing you. We're going to yarn over and then pull that yarn through the loop that's on your hook. So you have one loop left on your hook, and that is a chain stitch. Super easy. So let's pause because we want to mark this first chain stitch. So I'm going to pull my hook away from my piece to make that loop bigger so I don't lose my work. I'm going to rotate my piece a little bit so I can take a look and admire that horizontal V that I just made. That was the chain stitch. And I want to pick up the green stitch marker and use it to split that V. Like so.
Oh, I see what I may have done wrong. Okay. Let's make sure that we do this. Okay. Possibly. Okay. So now got our V. We'll do that. And then
now we're going to make a second chain stitch, so stick your hook back into this loop. Remember to put it in so that if you pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball, the piece of yarn that's moving is the one that's closer to you. Pull it just tight enough so that this loop on your hook is the size of the tip of your hook, and then wrap the yarn around your hand again like normal. This time you're going to hold on to the stitch you just made in that stitch marker with your thumb and your middle finger so that you have more control over everything, and do another chain stitch. So that again is a yarn over and then pulling that yarn through the loop that's on your hook. So you should have one loop on your hook.
there we go. Okay. So, gotta make sure that my yarn is good to go. Huh. Okay. There we go. Gonna make that a little bit wider. Okay, there we go. So there's our, whoop, oh, there it is. Okay. First one. And then second one. Okay.
Okay, now we are ready to create a single crochet stitch. This is the first single crochet stitch of however many single crochet stitches the pattern says to put in the magic loop. So we want to put it in the first chain we made, which is the one that we marked with this green stitch marker. So pull the green stitch marker so it gets out of your way, and then stick your hook in the hole. So we're going to do a single crochet stitch like we have been. The only difference is that when you start, it looks like you've got 2 strands of yarn on the hook this time. So yarn over, bring the yarn through the hole that the hook just went through. So you've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, and pull through both loops on the hook. And you've completed the first single crochet stitch.
Okay. So we're probably going to mark that.
And
Yeah.
just like we did with the first stitch of every round that we made in the body, we want to pause and pick up the orange stitch marker and
how's
put
it going,
in
Bea?
the first stitch that we just made, because this
Love
is the
you,
first
bro.
stitch of
Thank
round
you
1.
so much for that
So
resub.
tilt your piece to look at the room. Look at what V the loop on your hook traces back into. That is the V that you just made, the first stitch you just made. You can take your hook out, by the way, to make this easier. Stick your orange stitch marker under that V so that now you know where your round starts. And now we're going to make 3 more single crochets in the hole marked by the green stitch marker. If you're feeling pretty confident that you can see where the hook needs to go without the help of the green stitch marker, you can go ahead and take it off to prevent this hole from getting stretched out too much. But if you still need it to see where you need to put your hook, leave it in there. Better safe than sorry. So stick your hook in the hole from the front to the back so it looks like you have 2 loops of yarn on your hook. Yarn over, bring the yarn through the first loop on the hook. So you got 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, bring it through both loops on the hook. That was the second single crochet stitch. When you're done with all 4 stitches in the circle, it'll look something like this. And at this point, if you haven't already done so, take out the green stitch marker. You won't need it anymore.
Three. And almost got the tail in there. 4.
To start the round after a magic circle, you're gonna want to crochet into the stitch marked by the stitch marker, because remember, that is the first stitch of round 1. And now you want to put the first stitch of round 2 into the first stitch of round 1. You also want to make sure that you're holding your circle the right way. At this point, the hook should be on the left and that stitch marker should be immediately to the right of it. Here's what the piece should look like when you're done crocheting all of the rounds.
Okay. I think what we are gonna do is so single and then increase. Yeah, single increase times 2. Okay. Come on, there we go. Single. And then we are going to do the increase stitch, which simply means we do 2 single crochets into the same hole. And then single. And then increase. So how was everybody's Christmas? I want to hear about your Christmas, your New Year's, the whole enchilada. Okay, I think I did this correctly. Probably did. Alright, 2 singles and an increase. Oh, no worries, Starlina. I wonder. Let's try, because I remember exactly how to start this all over. So, we're going to go ahead and go back to our slip knot. One. Oh. Why does that one not always end up looking like a true... Okay, there we go. Yeah, that doesn't quite look right. Alright, so 1, which we mark with the green. Christmas was good. Only drama there was we forgot to thaw the rolls out, and the family made you cry because they surprised you with the yarn tension ring. Aww. And a gift card to Hobby Lobby. New Year's was good. Lazy did not stay up late. Hubby had to work New Year's Day. Aww. I'm sorry to hear that. Does anybody else do this? Does anybody else, when they are used to double crochets, and when they're single crocheting, just automatically end up almost making a double crochet? Oh, that's so sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Two. Anio. No, can type the pronunciation but can't type in Korean. Aw, that's okay. Well, I might need... Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. Is that somehow... Okay. There we go. So there's my working yarn, which means... There we go. Give me just a second, guys, to make sure that I... There we go. Have everything properly made. Alright, so now we can do that. And then this may have been part of my issue. Let's see if I can do this. Single. So we'll put that. Need to make this nice and big so that I can put this. Nope, come on. There we go. So single. And then where's... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 1 increase. So again, into that same hole. And then this one is single. And then this one will be we'll make that like that. And then we'll do that until I'm able to better see. Okay. And then 2 single. All right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now we're doing 8. Single. Get this nice and big. And then off to the side. And it's 2 singles? Yes. So what's a goal that everybody has for the year? Let's see. There we go. My goal is to keep going with my French studies and keep going in relationships, keep those growing and deepen them, and also to be in the YouVersion app every day this year. And then 2 singles. Okay. Laundry is folded, supper's almost done, carpet's vacuumed, dentist appointment's done, paperwork filled out for all 4 of us to get into a new dentist. No wonder you're exhausted. That's a productive day. What's for dinner tonight? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so row 4, 3 single crochets. Ooh, spaghetti and garlic bread. That sounds delicious. Nothing like good garlic bread. And spaghetti is absolutely amazing. No matter how, no matter how you do it, it's very hard to ruin spaghetti. Oh, I'm catching that next flight over. You know it. You know it. Stream's over, guys. I'm heading to the airport. All right, let's get a little more yarn going here. So that was 1 single crochet. Two. 3. Now 2 increase stitches. All right, there's 1 increase stitch. Two increase stitches. And then one, two, three single crochets. You also readjusted and replaced car seats and checked on the chickens. Nice! How are they doing? All right, so now we are on row 5, or round 5, so 4 single crochets. So that was 1. 2, 3, 4. So 4 single crochets, 2 increased stitches. Ooh, fat and sassy since they started laying eggs. Nice. Are they, do the eggs have different colors on them? Like, are some of them like brown, some of them white, some of them other different colors? So now we're doing 2 increased stitches. There's 1 increased stitch. Two increased stitches, and then 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 'Get myself a little more yarn. 3, and 4. Finished yet another round. Brown and white, Grandma's too old school to get the chickens that lay fancy colored eggs. Oh, that makes sense. It's all good. It's all good. My uncle actually has chickens, and we were at my cousin's wedding a few weeks back, like our day after Thanksgiving, and it was hysterical because my 2 of my other cousins were the music people for the wedding. They were playing Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, right? And all of a sudden, these chickens start balking up a storm, clucking up a storm, singing along with them while they're singing Thinking Out Loud. And I'm doing the live stream, so I'm trying hard not to laugh. But you can see some ever so slight shaking of the camera as I'm trying to hold back laughter. Oh my gosh, it was hysterical. Alright, so we've got 5 single crochets for our final round. So, 1, make it nice and big so that we can pull the hook out for a second to be able to mark the beginning of the round. Two, 3, 4, 5, excuse me. Then we've got 2 increased stitches. So, first half of 1. Whoop. There we go. There is 1 increased stitch. Now for the second increased stitch. There we go. And then 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So now, because I am a lefty, that made it where I was actually crocheting inside out. So what I'm going to do is turn this right side out, so that way my little tail is inside. There we go. So here is his adorable little tail. And what it's going to do is it's going to go on like this. So first, I need to try and cut off his old tail so I can sew on his new one. And hopefully I can find a way to do this in such a way that it will not ruin the body. There we go. He is ready for his new tail.
So you've finished the last stitch of the last round of your piece, and now we need to make what's called an invisible fasten off. So right now, this piece is going to have a visible open edge on our plushie, and we don't like how it looks like there's this gap, this jump between the first stitch of the round and the last stitch of the round. Doing the invisible fasten off is going to smooth that so it looks like one nice smooth circle, and we're going to do that by creating a fake horizontal V. To do the invisible fasten off, you're going to need the tapestry needle that came in the envelope labeled the wee woobly bits that came in your kit.
All right. 1 needle.
So first thing you gotta do is cut a yarn tail. And the way you tell how long to cut that yarn tail is that one, you want it to be at least 6 inches long. But if you're going to be attaching this piece to another piece, you need this
Alrighty,
yarn to be
sounds
long
good,
enough
Lady
that
Belle.
you can use
Enjoy
it to sew
dinner.
this piece onto
Have an
the
extra
other
slice
piece.
of garlic
So
bread
it's
for
gotta
me.
be at least 3 times the length of the edge of whatever piece is going to be sewn on, just to be safe. So I'm gonna cut it right around here. Then you can pull your hook away from the piece so that the loop that's on the hook gets really big until the yarn goes completely through that last stitch that you made. And then you can put your hook aside. You don't need that anymore. Now that you have a yarn tail, you're going to thread that yarn tail through the tapestry needle that came in your kit.
Okay, I'm going to...
So first thing you got to do is cut a yarn tail. And the way you tell how long to cut that yarn tail is that one, you want it to be at least 6 inches long. But if you're going to be attaching this piece to another piece, you need this yarn to be long enough that you can use it to sew this piece onto the other piece. So it's got to be at least 3 times the length of the edge of whatever piece is going to be sewn on, just to be safe. So I'm going to cut it right around here.
I think I'll do...
Then you can pull your
right
hook
about
away from the
there.
piece so that the loop that's on the hook gets really big until the yarn goes completely through that last stitch that you made. And then you can put your hook aside. You don't need that anymore. Now that you have a yarn tail, you're going to thread that yarn tail through the tapestry needle that came
Okay.
in your kit.
There we go. Perfect.
So the yarn tail is coming out of this horizontal V, and we want to put our needle under the second V of this round. So not the one marked by the orange stitch marker, because that was the first V of this
Oops.
round, but the one next to it. So we want to put the needle under the second horizontal V from the bottom up. Before we pull that through, let's just take out the stitch marker so it gets out of your way. So pull it, and not too tight just yet. We're still gonna do one more step.
So we do pull it through?
Last thing we gotta do is stick the needle under the back loop of the V that the yarn tail originally came out of. Let's take a look at your piece. This is the yarn tail that is currently threaded through your needle, and it is coming out of this horizontal V. So we want to put our needle under just the back loop, which is the side of the V that is further away from you. And again, we want to put the needle under that from the bottom up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now you can see that this yarn tail is making a fake horizontal V. So pull it just tight enough so that this V is basically the same size as all the other V's around the rim of your piece. And that is the invisible fasten off. At this point, it should look like you've got 14 V's around the rim.
Okay.
To sew one 3D piece onto another 3D piece, you first need to position where you want to attach it. So we want to attach the tail so that it spans rounds 14 to 17 of this main piece. And not just that, we also want the more angled side of the tail to be facing up. So the tail is not a completely even cone. There should be one side that looks a lot more angled than the other.
Okay, so that means he's going to look like this.
Their side. That's the side, the angle side, that should be facing up. So now to find rounds 14 to 17, remember we start from the very top. This is the head, this was round 1, and we're just gonna count until we find rounds 14 to 17. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So what we want to do is position the tail on the back middle of the body so that the tail looks like it's going to cover up rounds 14, 15, 16, and 17 when you sew it on.
So I think that would be like right about here.
Now I'm going to demo with orange and blue yarn. So the orange piece is what's going to get attached to the blue piece, which is why I've threaded the yarn tail of the orange piece through a tapestry needle. And I'm holding the piece onto where I want it to get sewn onto, and the yarn tail of the piece that's getting attached lines up with some hole on the main piece. I'm going to put my needle into that hole on the main piece and pull the needle out 1 stitch away, or however many stitches away it needs to go, so that the needle will then be under the next V of the piece that's getting attached. So I'm going to do it over here and pull tight.
Alright, we're
Now
going
I'm
to
gonna
try
demo
this
with
again.
orange and blue yarn. So the orange piece is what's going to get attached to the blue piece, which is why I've threaded the yarn tail of the orange piece through a tapestry needle. And I'm holding the piece onto where I want it to get sewn onto, and the yarn tail of the piece that's getting attached lines up with some hole on the main piece. I'm going to put my needle into that hole on the main piece and pull the needle out 1 stitch away, or however many stitches away it needs to go, so that the needle will then be under the next V of the piece that's getting attached. So I'm going to do it over here and pull tight.
Oh, that's off to the side. Okay, so I first off need to figure out where kind of middle back is. That look about right? Yeah, I think so. Hey, Vocal Duck! How have you been? We are attempting to figure out how to sew this thing on. We made a new tail to refamiliarize ourselves with a couple of things we're going to need to be familiar with for making some spikes. And I'm really not sure I follow
Piece that's getting
what she's
attached
saying.
lines up with some hole on the main piece. I'm going to put my needle into that hole on the main piece and pull the needle out 1 stitch away, or however many stitches away it needs to go, so that the needle will then be under the next V of the piece that's getting attached. So I'm going to do it over here and pull tight.
So we remade the tail, and then all that's left is spikes and the belly. So I'm thinking we should be able to finish him on Saturday, because we've got about 20 minutes before I need to wrap up stream. So I'm
Now
really
I'm
not
gonna demo with
100%
orange and
sure
blue
I'm
yarn.
following
So
where
the
this
orange
is
piece is what's going
going.
to get attached to the blue piece, which is why I've threaded the yarn tail of the orange piece through a tapestry needle. And I'm holding the piece onto where I want it to get sewn onto, and the yarn tail of the piece that's getting attached lines up with some hole on the main piece. I'm going to put my needle into that hole on the main piece and pull the needle out 1 stitch away, or however many stitches away it needs to go, so that the needle will then be under the next V of the piece that's getting attached. So I'm going to do it over here and pull tight.
I am really not sure that I'm following. Hey, West, how's it going? I am not sure I'm following what it's trying to tell me.
Now I'm going to demo with orange and blue yarn. So the orange piece is what's going to get attached to the blue piece, which is why I've threaded the yarn tail of the orange piece through a tapestry needle. And I'm holding the piece onto where I want it to get sewn onto, and the yarn tail of the piece that's getting attached lines up with some hole on the main piece. I'm going to put my needle into that hole on the main piece and pull the needle out 1 stitch away, or however many stitches away it needs to go, so that the needle will then be under the next V of the piece that's getting attached. So I'm going to do it over here and pull tight.
Maybe it's something like that? Somehow that seems a little bit off center. So I think I need to move it just ever so slightly over. This is the hard part, is figuring out where exactly you want to sew on all of your pieces. Okay, that actually looks about right. Okay. So... What's everybody up to tonight? Oh, just getting home from work? Wow. Late night for you, Wes. Or is this a normal time for you to get home? Okay, so I think that was right. Oh, how did charging the car go and what's for dinner?
Next, I'm going to pull the needle up through the piece that's being attached from the bottom up under just the next V along the rim. And that V should basically be right on top of where the yarn tail is coming out of the main piece, and pull it tight.
Alright, I need to watch that again, because I'm really
Next,
not sure I'm
pull
following.
the needle up through the piece that's being attached from the bottom up under just the next V along the rim. And that V should basically be right on top of where the yarn tail is coming out of the main piece, and pull it tight.
Just some Panda Express? Nice! What did you order at Panda?
Then put the needle into the body in exactly the same spot that it just came out of. You can tell where that is because you'll see the yarn tail coming out of there. And then, yet again, keep on holding your attachment where it's supposed to get sewn onto, and then bring the needle out one stitch of the piece it's being attached to, but still following the curve of
I really
the
don't
attachment
think I
and pull
understand.
tight.
I really do not think I understand where this is going.
Then put the needle into the body in exactly the same spot that it just came out of. You can tell where that is because you'll see the yarn tail coming out of there. And then, yet again, keep on holding your attachment where it's supposed to get sewn onto, and then bring the needle out one stitch of the piece it's being attached to, but still following the curve of the attachment and pull tight.
Ooh, shrimp and chicken and veggie and noodle. Nice! I really like their teriyaki chicken. Their teriyaki chicken is mwah.
Keep repeating this pattern of bringing the needle up under the piece that's being attached and then back down into the piece it's being attached into in the same spot and moving one stitch over until you've done this all the way around the entire piece that is being attached. And remember to pull tight every time. Before you completely sew on this piece, you might want to lightly stuff it, then continue on. You're done when you've sewn every stitch of the attachment onto the main piece.
Let's see. Okay, I think I'm possibly getting it. Okay, it's at least looking like it's getting sewn on, so that's a good thing. Alright. Sorry, guys, I'm in the zone. Oh, no, 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 no. It went off to the side. I cannot have that. Uh-oh. Great. Went sideways from where I wanted it to. Alright, well, let's see if I can fix this. Let's see if I can fix this at all. I don't know if I can. Ooh, I might actually be able to. Okay. Because I am a smart donna and I figured out where the end of our tail is and where it's going through. So because of that, I am able to backtrack. However far I feel I need to. Which is probably going to be pretty far. There we go. Okay, we got that. Okay. So now, I think one last one. Because it just, all of a sudden, it started slipping off to the side somehow, and I don't know how. I have no idea how or why that happened. So now we figure out which of these is yes. Hold on one second, guys. I'm just backtracking so that I can figure out how to do this better. Okay, so we want it sewn there. Okay. So now I need to re-thread my needle. We've got 10 minutes before I need to stop for the night. Let's see if we can get ourselves a new tail sewn on in the next 10 minutes. All right. So now I'm just working my way back around, sewing the tail into place. Does anyone have any fun plans for the week? I am going to be welcoming some family members into town on Saturday, pretty much right after stream. I've also been working my way through a YouVersion plan that will take me through the Bible in a year, which is going to be super fun because that is a goal that I have had for myself for a while now, is to be able to get through the whole Bible in a year. And so being able to do that would be awesome. And I'm working through it with a online church that I'm part of. And so getting notified every time one of them that's also going through the plan, does their comment for the Talk It Out, really helps me remember and make sure that I'm staying on top of it. Oh, everybody's back from vacation, huh? Are they ready to hit the ground running? There we go, they're ready to rock. Yeah, it'll be intense, but it'll be good. I will say it definitely helps getting notified whenever somebody does their reading for the day, because then I have no excuse. We are almost done sewing our tail on. We just have a few more stitches to do. And then it'll be completely sewn on. I gotta redo this. Some big plans for your team and department. Nice. I bet that's exciting. Hopefully it's something that you're excited about. It's always fun getting ready to do, more than what you're used to. You know what I mean? It's always a good way to just build your team up, get them doing things that they normally, don't get to do. Ooh, your group is going to launch into Revelation. That'll be interesting. Alright, I think I have maybe one more stitch to do, and then it'll be completely sewn on. It looks like it might be just a little bit lopsided. But if it is, that is okay. Because it could not be helped. It's only just a tiny, tiny bit lopsided. Not terrible. And if we go like that, he'll be able to stand at least. Aw, he doesn't want to stand because he's a little lopsided. 30% excitement, 70% fear. Like, what's going to change? What's going to be bad? I don't know.
And at this point, your yarn tail is probably pointing out of the piece. That's where you want to end at, because the next step is to put the needle in exactly the same hole it just came out of and pull it all the way through the entire piece, so that the yarn tail gets stuck in the stuffing inside. Then pick up your scissors and cut that yarn tail as close as possible to the surface of the piece. And if you still see a little bit of that yarn tail, just squish your piece around until that yarn tail gets sucked up to the inside.
Exactly.
Once you've sewn the tail on, the piece should look something like this.
No other one will look exactly like it. Alright. You know what? We're gonna have him attempt to stand like that. Alright, into Just Chatting. It is time, my friends. We must say goodnight. We must say see you on Saturday. We'll be using our wonderful yellow yarn that has yarn vomited all over my bedroom. Oh, you guys, I also found out Joanne Fabrics sells Wooble yarn. So if you want yarn like this, definitely look at Joanne Fabric. But in the meantime, you guys, I will see you Saturday. You guys have a wonderful, fantastic week. I'm going to attempt to quickly undo this in hopes that I will be able to make the spikes on Saturday, and then we can do the belly, and then our little friend will be complete. Alright, you guys. See you Saturday. Always remember, God loves you, and so do I. Bye!